Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're doing a Lunalight deck profile. So I'm really excited you guys because we finally got Lunalight Tiger back at 1, which makes this deck super fun to play. I've gone through a couple of different builds with this deck, from a fusion only build to an XZ only build, and finally settled on a hybrid between both of them, which is absolutely incredible. I'm super happy with the way this deck turned out, and I am super excited to show you guys what I'm playing in this build. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description every single video, getting a signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron, along with test hands. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing a single copy of Lunalight Tiger. This card is absolutely crazy. I'm super glad they finally gave this card back to us at 1, but it has the ability to, once per turn, target a Lunalight monster in the graveyard and special summon it, but it can't attack and its effects are negated, and also destroy it during the end phase. This card is a crazy one-up because you can basically bounce it to your hand over and over again to be able to use its effect again and again with all the text that we're playing in this deck. It's a really good card, and I'm really glad they finally gave it back to us at 1. We then played 2 copies of Lunalight Wolf. Lunalight Wolf is really good because this card is basically like Miracle Fusion, because it has the pendulum effect that you can't pendulum summon monsters except for Lunalight monsters, and this effect cannot be negated. You get to, once per turn, fusion summon a Lunalight fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from the field or the graveyard, which is really good to be able to just go into multiple fusion plays with this card and your copies of your Lunalight fusion. We then played 3 copies of Lunalight Kaleido Chick. Kaleido Chick is the best normal summon in the entire deck because it has the ability to, once per turn, send a Lunalight monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and the name of this face-up card on the field is treated as the sent monster, making it super easy to go in for our copy of Leo Dancer by sending our copy of Panther Dancer from the extra deck to the graveyard. It also has the ability that if this card is sent from the sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you get to target 1 polymerization in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And you can only use this effect of this card once per turn, and if this card is banished, you get to activate this effect that this turn your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated during the battle phase, which is a great effect just to give you all sorts of battle phase protections. We then played 3 copies of Lunalight Yellow Marten. Yellow Marten is a great card to special summon to your side of the field because it has the ability, if this card is in your hand or grave, you can target a Lunalight card you control except another copy of itself and return to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card in defense position but banish it when it leaves the field, which comes up a lot in this deck because basically you're going to use this card to bounce your copy of Tiger back to your hand to then reactivate the Tiger and use its effect all over again. And if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add a Lunalight Spell or Trap from your deck to your hand, which comes up a lot in the deck as well, especially with all the different really good Lunalight spells that we have in the deck. We then played 2 copies of Lunalight Emerald Bird. Emerald Bird is just a 2-of to me in this build, because it has the ability that if this card is normal or special summon, you get to send a Lunalight card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, you get to draw a card. And if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you get to target 1 of your level 4 Lunalight monsters that's banished or in the graveyard and special summon it in defense position, making it super easy to go in for rank 4 plays or fusion plays. We then play a single copy of Lunalight Crimson Fox. Crimson Fox is a 1-of to me. It comes in handy sometimes in the deck because it has the ability, if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target a face-up monster opponent controls and change its attack to 0 to help you go in for some OTKs with this deck until the end of the turn. And when a card effect is activated that targets a Lunalight monster you control, quick effect, you manage to carve from the graveyard to negate the activation. If you do, each player gains 1,000 life points, which does come up in the deck to help you protect your copies of your powerful Lunalight fusion monsters. And then play a single copy of Blue Cat just for that double attack point boost. I love this card as a 1-of. I don't feel like you need any more than 1, but 1 helps out a lot. We play a single copy of Lunalight Black Sheep. Black Sheep lets you discard this card to the graveyard to add a Lunalight monster from your graveyard to your hand, or add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a fusion material for the fusion summon, you can add to your hand 1 Lunalight Pendulum monster from your X deck or 1 Lunalight monster from your graveyard to your hand, which is pretty good to be able to just add those cards to your hand. It's super helpful to play as a 1-of. I have bumped it down a little bit in this build because I'm going for an XZ and a fusion build at the same time, which is just really fun to play. We then play a single copy of Blackwing Chris the Crack of Dawn. This card is really, really good because you can special summon it when you control your copy of Zaphros, which Zaphros is incredible in this deck to be able to bounce your copy of Tiger back to hand to be able to bring back more Lunalights over and over again from the graveyard. And it's a really good card because basically you just bounce your copy of Tiger back to hand, lose 400 life points, and then get a level 4 on the field all at the same time, which is really good. We play a single copy of Raider's Wing. Raider's Wing is here because you can detach a material off of a Dark XZ to special summon this card to your side of the field, so it's a really easy special summon. One copy of Singing Lanius because you can special summon this card to your side of the field if you control an XZ's monster. One copy of Ancient Cloak because you can banish this card from the graveyard to search the Phantom Knight card from your deck to your hand. And a single copy of Silent Boots because you can banish this card from the graveyard to add any Phantom Knight spell or trap that you need from the deck to the hand. So it comes in very, very handy. So that's it for the actual monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Double or Nothing, and this time we're actually not going for the 10,000 attack point Utopia. There's actually an interesting tech card that we're going to get into in the extra deck that I will show you guys in just a minute, but this card is really good in the deck to be able to just search so you can go into an insane play that I'll show you guys in just a second. We then play a single copy of Rank Up Magic Soulshade Force. This card is really good in the deck because you can go into your copy of Cyber Dragon Infinity, and it's easily searchable with your copy of your Tricks. But basically pay half your life points, target a Raid Raptor in the graveyard, and then special summon it, and then rank it up by 2 ranks, which is really good into a rank 6 monster, going from your Force Tricks to your Cyber Dragon Infinity with this card. We play a single copy of the Phantom Knights Rank Up Magic Launch. Rank Up Magic Launch is really good because you can go from 7 to 8 in this deck with your ranks, which is what you're going to be usually doing, because it lets you, during the main phase, target a Dark XZ monster you control with no XZ materials, and special summon for your extra deck 1 Dark XZ monster that is 1 rank higher than that monster that you control, using that monster as a material, which is one of the insane tech cards that we're playing in the deck that actually works with Double or Nothing. We then play a single copy of Foolish Burial to get the exact card that we need in the graveyard when we need it. 1 copy of Tinky because we can only play 1 copy of Tinky to search any of our Lunalights that we need from our deck to our hand. 1 copy of Polymerization because you only really need 1 copy of Polymerization because this deck already has an insanely powerful fusion spell in Archetype, which is 2 copies of Lunalight Fusion. I feel like 2 is fine. I did consider cutting it down to 1, but this card is a great 2 because it has the ability, almost like Shadow Fusion, that you get to fusion summon a Lunalight Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. And if your opponent controls a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, you can also use a Lunalight monster from your deck or your extra deck as fusion material, so you don't even have to have Kaleido Chick to turn your copy of to turn into Panther Dancer. You can actually just use the Panther Dancer directly from the deck to go into your copy of Leo Dancer, which is just great. We play 3 copies of Lunalight Perfume. Lunalight Perfume is a great searcher in the deck, and also a really good monster reborn that lets you target a Lunalight monster in the grave, special summon it, and you can manage to discard from the graveyard and then discard a card to add a Lunalight monster from your deck to your hand. This card is also not a once per turn, oddly enough, so you can use it over and over and over again, which is just insane. We play 3 copies of Foolish Burial Goods to actually send Lunalight Perfume to the graveyard, which is really good for this deck to be able to send that card to the grave so you can get multiple plays. We play 3 copies of Allure of Darkness, rounding out the spells so we can dig into the deck for the exact cards that we need. But keep in mind, some of your Lunalight monsters are actually light, so keep that in mind as you play the deck. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing just a couple of traps. We're going to be playing a single copy of Lunalight Serenade Dance. Lunalight Serenade Dance is a good one of in here, because when a fusion monsters is fusion summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters and apply the effects in sequence to special summon a Lunalight token to your side of the field. That's a dark level 4, 2000 attack, 2000 defense to your opponent's side of the field, and then that target gains 500 attack for each monster opponent controls, even if this card leaves the field. And then during the main phase, you can banish this card from the grave, send a card from your hand to the grave, and if you do, special summon a Lunalight monster from your deck, which is pretty helpful for the deck to be able to just send this card to the graveyard for that last effect. Then playing a single copy of Shade Brigandine because you can activate it and put it as a level 4 on your side of the field, and it's easily searchable in the deck with your copies of your Ancient Cloak or your copy of Silent Booties. We play 2 copies of Fogblade just to give us a little bit of a negation. I really like this card as a 2 of in here because it lets you activate this card by targeting an effect monster your opponent controls and negate its attack or negate its effects, which is just super good, but you can't attack the monster. It's basically like Fiendish Chain, but the monster can't attack and you can't attack the monster. So that's it for the traps, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Leo Dancer because it's an incredible boss monster, and I absolutely love this card. It has the ability that you have to put in a copy of Panther Dancer and any 2 other Lunalight monsters, but you can turn Kaleido Chick into a Panther Dancer or use Lunalight Fusion to send the Panther Dancer directly from the extra deck to the graveyard to summon this card. It must be fused to some of the above fusion materials and cannot be special summoned by other ways. It can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects or targeted by your opponent's card effects. You can make a second attack during each battle phase, and then once per turn at the end of the damage step, if this card attacked a monster, you can destroy all special summon monster your opponent controls. That's insane on a 3500 attack one monster. That's that easy to summon in this deck. We then play a single copy of Panther Dancer. Basically, this card is just here to be able to go into our copy of Leo Dancer, so you just play a single copy of it. I play a single copy of Cat Dancer. Cat Dancer is here because it's so easy to summon. It just requires any 2 Lunalights to actually summon this card, so it's very easy to summon to your side of the field. It can't be destroyed by battle, which is a great effect for this card. We play a single copy of Saber Dancer as well. Saber Dancer requires 3 Lunalight monsters to go into this card, but it also gains 200 attack for each Beast Warrior monster that's banished or in the graveyard, so which can get quite big, which is why I play this card as a one of in here. It's very easy to go into, and I find myself going into this card a lot in playtesting, so it's a really good one of in here. It also has the ability that during your main phase, except turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from the graveyard and target a fusion monster you control, and it gains 3000 attack points, which can be pretty helpful to boost up one of your other fusion monsters up to insane attack points. We play 2 copies of Force Tricks for combo. Basically, you detach a material from this card and add a Dark Wing Beast that's level 4 from your deck to your hand, which is any of your Raid Raptors or any of your Black Wings. 1 copy of Infinity because you make this on top of your copy of your Raid Raptor with your Soul Shade Force. 1 copy of Redoer because Redoer is really good in this deck because it can help you get into some really good plays, so I play it as a one of in here. We play a single copy of Utopia Double. Utopia Double is here because you're going to be able to detach material from this card, add double or nothing from deck to hand, and the way that this card reads is you get to quick effect, detach material from this card to add a double or nothing from your deck to your hand, and then special summon from your extra deck 1 Utopia XZ monster, except another number 39, Utopia Double, by using this card as a material, which is actually going to be a copy of number 93 Utopia Kaiser, which is a really interesting tech that I've put in this deck. I really like this card because what it does is you get to once per turn special summon a rank 9 or lower number monster with 3000 or less attack with a different rank from each other from your extra deck, up to the number of materials with different names attached to this card, which is usually going to be 2, but you're only ever going to summon 1 off of this card, which is going to be number 11 Big Eye, that then you're going to use your rank up magic spell of the Phantom Knight rank up magic spell to go into a DDD Dual Dawn King Kal Yuga during your opponent's turn that has the ability that after this card is XZ summoned for the rest turn, other cards and effects cannot be activated on the field, basically shutting down your opponent's entire field where they can't activate effects at all. Of any spells, traps, monsters, anything that's on the field is totally turned off, which is really good in this deck to be able to go in for OTKs with your copy of Lunalight Leo Dancer during the following turn with your DDD Duo Dawn King Kal Yuga. We then play a single copy of Double A Zeus. Double A Zeus is really good in this deck to be able to board wipe your opponent with all the XZs that we're playing. 1 copy of Wise Tricks because you use this card to climb into your copy of Rusty Bardige, and it's really good to help you go into other plays in the deck as well. Rusty Bardige is here because it sends your cards to the graveyard and searches cards like your Fogblade and even your rank up magic spells by sending cards like your Phantom Knight of Ancient Cloak and Silent Boots to the graveyard. So this is a really fun build, and that's it for the deck, guys. This is a really fun build. I highly recommend you guys give this deck a try. It's really insane with Tiger back, and it's super fun, especially to go into Kal Yuga during your opponent's turn using the rank up magic spell. That is just really, really insane. This card is just so good in this deck and really searchable, especially with that play where basically you just have to make a rank 4 and then set that card and you're pretty much set. So that's it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you can become part of Notification Squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.